We are going to hear from Gina Claxton, who is Corporate Vice President, US Retail and Consumer Goods, Microsoft. Please welcome Gina Claxton to the stage. And the topic is creative leadership for social impact from the tech world.
Good afternoon. So my name is Gina Claxton, and in my day job, I lead the commercial relationships that Microsoft has with retailers and consumer goods companies. So well-known brands, Starbucks, Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, and Walmart. And while these companies are asking Microsoft to help them leverage AI to drive more productivity and de-risk their supply chains, help them build sustainable operations, the most common topic that we advise around is really about the future of work, and most specifically, the future of the worker. And as you know, these brands are some of the largest employers in the world. And so it's become so clear that the leaders that are in those rooms advising, consulting, and shaping those conversations need to be coming from a place of faith, hope, and love, and putting the human at the center. So it's been a tremendous privilege. It's also a tremendous opportunity to think about how we bring the private sector and organizations in the nonprofit and religious sectors together around these topics. Let's see, is this working? All right. But as an officer of the company, today I'm here to share a model that we're using to take our lessons learned in these commercial relationships and drive social impact more broadly, and basically offer ideas, proposals with you to drive different, more creative partnerships coming out of a summit like this. We're aligning around these common challenges. And as one of the leading tech companies, we know that the GDP growth opportunity from AI is vast, but that if it doesn't address these challenges, if it exacerbates them, it will be a human tragedy. And so we have organized our focus, our investments, where we try to shape public policy around these 4 pillars. Expanding opportunity, which is really about every human, every organization, every society having access to technology, being skilled to thrive in the digital age, and then also empowering nonprofits and organizations to take our technology and do their great work in the world. Earning trust, which is about responsible AI, the guardrails with which we operate this technology, privacy and security concerns, and as our leader says, the unintended consequences of this powerful technology. Protecting fundamental rights, making sure we're building sustainable communities and we're giving everyone access to these technologies. And then lastly, advancing sustainability, addressing climate change with these technologies. So this is our framework when we decide where we will either enter into partnerships, take a position on policy, or engage with faith organizations to accelerate the mission. And our leader is a very inspirational leader for our time. Satya Nadella is not just a technology genius, of course, an engineer by trade. He has a Hindu background and really brings that faith tradition into his worldview. He's a tremendously compassionate leader, and he's a very human-centric leader when it comes to the mission of the company, empowering every person in the world to do more. That is the mission of the company, and he challenges us every day to make sure that we are lifting all boats and that we are making sure that we're living that empowerment mission. So we enter into partnerships with nonprofits and entrepreneurs in these categories, and there's hundreds of thousands of examples. I'll just bring a few to life. We just heard some as well. The co-pilot Australian example was one that we've partnered with, but just to make it real. So for example, in the area of expanding opportunity with Opportunity International, we were talking about the farmers. And for those that don't know this organization, they provide financial resources in areas of extreme poverty to support entrepreneurs. And we enabled an AI tool in partnership with this organization for farmers, so that they could better predict their crop yields, so that they could use all the different variables to drive more crop productivity. And also it was a tremendous skilling opportunity for them to kind of leapfrog their comfort with the digital technologies. In Operation Smile, we've partnered with this organization to identify and diagnose cleft conditions more rapidly, so that they can see a greater volume of patients globally, given the limitations of resources. So this is an example of leveraging technology to expand opportunity for all. In the area of trust, we have a broad relationship with the Red Cross, but something notably here that we've done is built a very secure platform to help reunite families that have been separated by conflict or natural disaster. And because of the trust and the security of that very sensitive data, we've been able to unify over 4,000 families or reunite them just this year. So this is a very important place where we're working with the Red Cross to bring technology to help with some of these really complex problems. AMREF, we're working with them on malnutrition prediction. We have technology that's enabling the National Forest Foundations on conservation projects. So real examples of us investing the technology to then empower these organizations to do the great work that they all know how to do best. And then another model, we've talked a lot today about the Rome call. I think His Excellency was actually there at one of the signings, but Microsoft recognized the importance of relationships with interfaith leaders in accelerating this mission. Just on the simple fact that we're here today, just acknowledging that we need to bring our faith leaders, our private sector leaders, and our government leaders together if we're really going to move the needle here. In February 2020, we launched that Rome call for AI ethics, and it was the founding members of Microsoft, IBM, the government agencies in Rome and Vatican that really started this foundational framework for the values, the shared values that we would then draw practices, policies, and actions from, with the transparency, the accountability, the inclusion, these principles at the core. But then we grew it from there. So His Excellency mentioned when we had the Islamic, Jewish, and Christian religious leaders together in January of 2023 with Pope Francis to broaden the support for the Rome call for AI ethics. It was a historical event. Then it was signed by the Archbishop of Canterbury. In June of 2024, Pope Francis referenced it at the G7 summit as the leading platform for ethical AI. And then again, we also mentioned today, in July, the Asian religious leaders that signed it in a gathering of 11 world religions. So this is really gaining momentum as a platform to build on a common set of values and principles that we can then take action from. And one of the actions we've taken, just a small example, but an impactful one, is the AI-enhanced 3D experience that we just unveiled in St. Peter's Basilica. If you have a chance to see it, you should, but it's really geared toward the accessibility aspiration. People that can't get to all the places of the Basilica but want the experience, now they have a way to do so. And that's been one of the principles of the Rome call, and now we're bringing it to life. So in summary, Microsoft really believes in this being not our responsibility, but it is our mission. And just this year, we've supported and empowered 375,000 nonprofits with over $5 billion of technology. And so my offer here in this forum is if you're interested in discussing partnership opportunities, or if you're interested in participating in the next chapter of the Rome call for AI ethics, as our leaders are actually meeting next week again here in Rome to talk about what comes next for that really important platform, please see me at any of the breaks, and I'd love to talk about it with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gina.